What up, guys? This is Kays back with another business sales training video. Really quick shout out to my boy Mano. I appreciate you pushing me. I'm gonna be candid with you guys. I'm supposed to get this done on Friday. Procrastinated, not even gonna lie, but I'm gonna get it done today because my boy called me out, and I appreciate that. We're gonna be talking about the 3 stages of business sales. I'll be running through it very quickly as this is definitely a macro view of just what your responsibilities are, right? And I like to keep it in threes, but this is real. Like it actually is 3 pieces of sales process that you really have to embody and just understand. And if you have control over those three, then you'll do really, really well in this business. So I'll get started here. I'm just going to jump in. I'm going to let you know that the 3 activities of a successful sales executive at any given time, you're prospecting, uh, executing a discovery meeting, and or following up. And if you continue to do these habits, these processes, you'll win, right? These are the 3 pieces, and you can get better at each one of these pieces. You can get better at prospecting by picking the best pawns, and I'm gonna have that in a video to come about just picking the best pawns. I also have a sales training that I put out about 2 years ago that really dives deep into that whole idea of fishing, hunting, and farming from a prospecting perspective. But you're gonna get better at your calls, better at your rebuttals, and prospecting in general. Your take rate will go up and up and up. So you can enhance that piece. Um, you can also enhance your discovery meetings, right? You can add things to your presentation, put together a PowerPoint, put together takeaways. However, your sales allows, you can really enhance that experience for your clients to allow them to say yes at the very end, as you tailor that experience to your industry and your clients' needs. So that can always get better. And then your follow up, how you follow up, the timeline in between follow ups. You can always tweak things to make that better. But if you execute on these 3 pieces here, you're going to be amazing at your job, especially when you deploy the numbers, right? Again, another video for the future when we talk about the numbers of sales. Uh, but let's jump into this. So we started with prospecting. Prospecting is engaging a list of leads to set an appointment to discuss the details of your solution. That's all it is. Again, your list can get better and better. Your ability to speak on the phone can get better and better. You can pick target markets seasonally, and your ability to really understand your markets will get better and better. But prospecting is simply picking up the phone, knocking on the door, establishing meetings with people who are interested in your product, right? Um, it's really that simple. If they're not going to meet with you, then they're not really that interested. Some people, and I believe this is more in the B2C world versus B2B, looking for those one call closes, right? This doesn't really get to that, but a meeting then would be the conversion to, that sales mode after introducing yourself and discussing what it is that you're looking to do with the client. So, step number one is prospecting. Enhance that, be as great as you can at prospecting. You'll do really well in the B2B space. Now, the next step is discovery meetings. Really break this up into 4 parts. Educate yourself on your client's needs, educate your client on your product, discover value, and discuss next steps. I really wanted this to be 3. I'm not even going to lie to you guys, but it was really important that we got all 4 of these pieces in here. Um, when you engage your customer in the discovery meeting, and this can also be housed in the PowerPoint that I was discussing, you want to educate your clients on your needs. Before that, I like to educate my clients on myself, because I am part of the ride, but I understand that everybody's product isn't like that. But as a consultative seller, I like to let my clients know that I'm not going anywhere. So this is a little bit about me. I've been doing this for 15 years, etc., etc. So, not necessary, but again, something that I like to add to this. In our case, from a general standpoint, educate yourself on your client's needs. What is it that you do in that specific space or industry that you support directly? What does that look like? What are some issues? What are some things that you like? Not only how it affects the business, but how does it affect that individual personally? Does it keep them up at night that they don't have the solution? So you just want to learn and really gather as much information as possible to really then deploy within the meeting at the third stage. Then I like to bring my clients on, to the same page. Like I want to educate them on exactly what it is that I have to offer. So then when we start talking about those value propositions, it really all makes sense. I don't have to explain anything because we know the same stuff. We're not speaking jargon because I've defined everything for them. And again, it depends on the industry that you're in. Like that discussion might look this way, black or white. It's totally different. But at the end of the day, educate your client on your product. The third step is discover that value. Really tie it together for them. Discuss it with them. How do you see this product working for your business? Do you see the value? Do you see how that will save you time and money, which is probably the two most important things: efficiency and money within an organization, as well as I think customer service and doing the right thing. As people are building brands in a lot of ways too. Discuss next steps is the last part of the process in the discovery meeting, and actually the last stage in the overall business sales cycle. Discussing next steps. So a lot of times in B2B, it's not going to close right there. You're going to have a decision maker with checks and balances that are going to have to discuss what they just learned and disseminate it, or it could be a group of individuals that you're really talking to. Well, they're going to want to go behind the scenes and really discuss privately about the solutions. They might be vetting you out, as a lot of these business owners and C-level executives and executives in general have a fiduciary responsibility to really consider the offer that you're making, especially if we're talking about high value items that you're selling, right? So you're going to discuss next steps. You're going to open up the calendar and say, okay, these are the things that we want to execute between now and then. Let's set up a date to follow up. And that actually takes me straight to the third stage of business sales following up. At the end of all engagements, establish a meeting to discuss the next steps that was established on the meeting that you're on. You will continue to do this process until the deal is closed. Never just let it float. Never put the ball in the client's court. You just call me when you're ready, unless you're just giving up. You want to take ownership of that. That's like one of the most important parts of your whole deal. And if you do that well, like you could have solutions experts on your call. You set the meeting up, you set the call up, you have a solutions expert. This guy takes the whole meeting over, but does a great job. He's executing. He's educating the client on the product. He's getting information from the client. Well, it's still your job as the executive to establish next steps. Okay, what are we going to do to make sure that we keep the chains moving? And to keep the train on the track, let's set up a date to follow up and discuss. And with how everybody seems to be very acclimated to utilizing Zoom, Teams, things of that nature, setting up that meeting and getting that engagement doesn't even take gas anymore. So, 3 stages: prospecting, discovery, meetings, and follow up. If you guys have any questions, put the comments down below.